All right. Here we go. My notes. All right. So Deb Barnett and Nick Holdinghausen in the building.
Hey, Luke. How are you?
Good. Thank you guys for coming this morning.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Thanks for having us. It's good to see you on camera, too. Usually you're behind the scenes doing all the work with our Small Town Big Business podcast. So it's good to see you on the screen today.
That's an honor for you to be joined by you two. Normally, Deb, I'm behind the camera, but now we get to talk today and just talk about SI Now and what you guys are doing, and maybe just touch on the meeting you guys had here at Union Street Arts this morning.
Yeah. Well, first, thanks for hosting us this morning. It was our marketing task force for SI Now, which is made up of a bunch of great people. If I start naming them, I'm sure I'll leave someone out, but business owners throughout the region, folks from SIU, folks who've had tons and tons of marketing experience. And that task force is one of three that we have as part of SI Now, as part of our three priority areas. So marketing, of course, is one, and then also business growth and development, and then the other one is workforce and education.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we're a 17-county regional economic development organization. So we start at Mount Vernon. We go all the way south to Cairo, so the southern 17 counties. On the west side, it's Chester and Redbud and Randolph County, and on the east, it's Carmi and White County. That's our furthest north county.
Awesome. So a wide range that encompasses Southern Illinois of geography, right?
Yeah, it's a big area, and I know it's all Southern Illinois, but I think it's so interesting from Deb and I's perspective to see the different cultures across the entire region. They change from north to south, east to west, and also meeting the different people. One of the things that we love about our job is seeing the different businesses, that some of which you may know of and some of which you may never have heard of.
Yeah, I think it's great. And to be able just to even hear some of the conversations and the individuals you guys brought in today. Wow, talk about the placemakers and visionaries and people that really want to see this area grow and thrive. So kudos to you for bringing those minds to the table to have that discussion in the first place.
Right. And I will start naming names. So Amy Mills with 17th Street, Michelle Searles at Runneman Orchards, which of course is getting award after award. And just, really both of those folks in particular are just drawing such great things to Southern Illinois and such great ambassadors for Southern Illinois. But that entire task force is. So Jeff Harmon from SIU, Jennifer Olson here at the City of Marion, Carol Hoffman at Southernmost Tourism, Dina Hahn over at the City of Carbondale. So again, I will leave folks out. There are several more, but that's just a kind of a glimpse into who was there this morning.
Yeah, and Alex Mullins from Arthur Agency. I mean, I think the key is getting the people that have really done it. They have been in this area. They have figured out, from whether it's their own business or working for a business to help market that, they have figured it out. And I think having all those people and all those minds, the creativity that comes from that, it just is, you think you have an idea and then they come up with something, you're just like, wow, that's really, really smart.
And we can't forget Jennifer Spence, Banterra Bank. So she's the co-chair of the task force, but she's from the area, but she lived in Nashville for several years, did a lot of work for Gaylord Entertainment, I believe, and just really it's just a wealth of knowledge that she brings to the table. So Jennifer Spence, Banterra Bank, they're doing great things as well.
Absolutely. Big shout out to them. Continued support from across the region. Amazing. Yes. So can you touched on economic development. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Maybe what people can see if they want to work here, do business here, live here. Can you touch on any of those aspects?
Yeah, it's kind of a multifaceted approach. A lot of what we do in our day-to-day is a lot of business attraction, but in addition to that, business growth. So helping to promote the businesses that are already here, making sure that they have what they need to be successful here, but then honestly, obviously also trying to bring new business here and bring high-paying jobs, more jobs to the area. I know workforce is a key topic, but Deb and I talk quite often that those jobs are going somewhere. And Southern Illinois in particular has a lot of opportunity. We sit really in a very centralized location in the country. And, we were just at a conference in Nashville last week with site selectors. So these are consultants for large companies that might be looking to relocate or expand. And one of the topics that came up was that a lot of bigger metro areas, a spot that a lot of companies have looked to in the past, there's not sites available. They're getting filled up. So they're starting to look more and more to rural areas, to what they call tier 2 cities. So I think we really have an opportunity here in the area, and that's what we spend a lot of our time on.
And it all drills down to assets. So we have tremendous assets throughout the region. Certainly, we talked a lot in our meeting today about the outdoors, but we also use the term our R4 advantage. So our rivers, roads, rails, and runways. So those are more transportation and logistics assets, but they're things that I think most of us who've lived in this area for many years kind of take for granted, right? And all of the things that Nick mentioned in economic development, it all drills down and narrows down to jobs. And that equates to, a good living for families and for Southern Illinoisans, and a way for people to really raise their families and just have a good life here in Southern Illinois.
And it all kind of ties together, coincides together. The people that are already here, whether it's the younger generation, showing them the opportunities that do exist from a workforce perspective, trying to educate them and help them gain the skills needed to work here. But showing them that we do have a lot of already high-paying jobs here, continuing to grow that sector. But then again, it all ties together. When you go home from work, we also have a great place to live, low cost of living. So it really is all just one big circle.
That's awesome. I think that's a really great overview of what you guys are doing and the work that's being done. And I think it's amazing. And I commend you for going out to those conferences and out representing us, advocating for us to the country, to the world, to bring and to benefit our quality of life. Mm-hmm. All those things. Really, really important. So thank you for doing that, first of all. And also, I know we don't have much time left because you guys are busy and you got more calls coming soon and the work is still to be done. But I do, since we are talking economic generation and bringing interest to the region, I do want to have a quick question about the eclipse that we just had here in Southern Illinois. Can we talk about that briefly? What was your guys' experience?
Oh, my goodness. So I'll give just a very personal experience. So we had a family that pulled up. We were actually at the Lake of Egypt to our house. We hosted a lot of folks at our house. But there was a family that pulled up, family of 4. They were from Atlanta, and they were just looking for an unobstructed, location somewhere and found this spot that was actually right by our house. When they got there, they didn't realize that it was a private property, right? And they said, but is this okay? And we said, absolutely. So we opened, sort of our wide Midwestern arms and welcomed them. And they were just so appreciative. And I tell that story because I think that was replicated over and over throughout the region of people getting a glimpse into what Southern Illinois is all about, how welcoming it is, how beautiful it is. And they just had a wonderful experience and took a piece of Southern Illinois back with them.
Yeah, and I think really having it twice in a matter of 7 years helped us. We learned a lot after 17 and really being able to showcase our area. And I think there was a lot more preparedness that went in this time to saying, hey, look, we have all these visitors. We need to show them Southern Illinois and show what it's all about so that they come back.
Yeah, when do you get once in a lifetime again?
Twice.
Right.
Right. Yes.
So that's awesome. And I agree, Nick. I saw, I felt more prepared myself just going through it one time before, and we had a lot more time of totality, which I just totally thought was awesome.
If you're not in 100%, there's really no way to explain it. And I tried to tell people that had never experienced it, like, if you're 99%, it's not 100%. You've got to get into the 100%.
Exactly. I said, we're now totality snobs.
It's true.
That's a great point.
And we say a lot, SI Now, through SI Now, Southern Illinois is a great place to live and work and do business, right? Like that's kind of the line we say all the time. And I think the eclipse provided a great way for us to showcase that, but it also gave folks this taste of what that can be. So there are already, here we are just a few days out, already conversations about how can we do something similar again? Maybe not that big of a scale, but how can we continue this momentum and draw folks here just like, people are drawn to St. Louis and Chicago and Nashville and the major metros. We can do that right here in Southern Illinois.
That's right. And I think we have a lot of momentum and just hope to build off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool to see such a successful event across the board. And I do want to say, if there's anything else that we need to add to this, now's the time. Or we can go straight into where can people find you? get connected with SI Now. I know you have an upcoming publication coming out soon, so maybe we can talk about that briefly too.
Yeah, so one of our marketing strategies is we do have the Now magazine. First issue came out back in the fall, and we've got another issue getting ready to come out early May. And this is kind of our collective story. That's the best way to say it. It really tells the story of the businesses that are here, the people that are here, the communities that are here, but then also trying to showcase some of those assets that we have, especially from a transportation and logistics avenue.
So the next one will come out in May. So whenever, depending on when people are listening to this, so May 2024, and then it will be out twice a year. So May and the end of October, beginning of November. But as Nick said, it's kind of our collective story. There is a print version, but it can also be found digitally, and that would be on our website at southernillinoisnow.org.
Yep, and of course we are also on social media as well. So we've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, Twitter, and on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hosting. Nick, thanks for reaching out. And this has been really fun. And kudos to you guys for all the great work you're doing.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you for all the great work you're doing.
And a great space here that you have at
awesome.
Union Street Arts.
Oh, thanks, guys.
It's awesome.
I appreciate it. And be sure to follow SI Now on all the social media. Check it out. Great work going on. And thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Okay.
That's a wrap. Nice.
Thanks, Luke.
Turn sweet.
Yeah, appreciate it.